You're listening to Where You Live with Gene Sullivan.
Welcome back to Where You Live. I'm Gene Sullivan, broadcasting from the True North Painting Studios. The show is brought to you by American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency, and Extreme Exteriors. You can count on Extreme Exteriors for expert installation of exterior siding, roofing, soffits, fascia, decks, windows, and more. With their knowledge and experience, they can design the perfect solution to make your home beautiful and more energy efficient, saving you maintenance and money for years to come. Give them a call at 763-441-1334 and tell them Gene sent you. It's time now to hear from the Community Associations Institute. The CAI Minute is brought to you by New Concepts Rental Management. Whether you're an accidental landlord or a seasoned investor, New Concepts Rental Management can advise and guide you through every aspect of the business. Give us a call at 952-922-2500.
Are you a member of the Community Associations Institute? For nearly 40 years, CAI has provided education and resources to volunteer homeowners who govern community associations and the professionals who support them. Visit caionline.org to learn more. That address again is caionline.org. CAI helps community association board members by providing online resources, in-person training, and hard copy publications written by association management experts. CAI offers community managers professional development, networking opportunities, and a certification program that's established as the industry standard nationwide. Minnesota has its own chapter of the Community Associations Institute to bring resources and tools from community associations around the country right to your home. Visit CAIMN.com to learn more and become a member of CAI today. Your community and management company will benefit from your involvement. Join the Community Associations Institute today at CAIMN.com and click on Membership.
You know, CAI is really an excellent organization, and it was that organization that put on just recently, about 2 weeks ago, an afternoon seminar where 7 Twin City attorneys had gotten together to put together a program offering a number of specific topics to cover issues that people deal with their HOAs all the time. And so it's a great organization. If you want to get more information, be a better board member to your HOA, give the people a call at CAI, Community Associations Institute, and find out more. And so I'm happy to welcome to the show today one of the attorneys from that program a couple of weeks ago. His name is Anthony Smith. He is an attorney with Roeder, Smith & Jayden. Welcome to the show, Tony.
Hey, thanks, Gene. It's great to be here.
Yeah, and you had, I thought, just an excellent topic. You were dealing with all of us that afternoon in that room with the topic of how to navigate a property insurance claim. And, you know, I think when it comes to insurance, a lot of people kind of feel like there's really not a lot to know and that it should be a pretty easy process. Do you think that's a fair claim to make?
Well, I think that a lot of times what people see and hear from their insurance companies with the advertisements saying that you're in good hands or like a good neighbor, people think that insurance is kind of a set it and forget it kind of a thing. What we find out as lawyers representing community associations and property owners is those waters are a lot trickier to navigate than people think. And the rights that people have under those insurance contracts are a lot more extensive than people realize.
Oh, that is so true. If I could use an analogy, to me, it's the difference between I can go home and cook a meal for myself and for my family, and that's different than being a chef at a restaurant. You know, it's both cooking food, but there is a whole different process to be involved with. And insurance is one of those things. In my mind, it's been one of those necessary evils. You know, people usually, there are certain purchases people like. People like the purchase of a home. That's a fun thing, a purchase of a new car. But a purchase of insurance is something that you're purchasing you hope you never have to use. And because it's kind of a bad you're dealing with a bad situation, a bad what if occurs, people don't want to really take the time to think about what kind of coverage they have, what's involved in the process. So I really appreciated what you said. Now, one of the things that I think you began with in your program a couple of weeks back was to have people to remember that there is a certain perspective that the insurance company has. The insurance company will use the term managing the claim. And so when there is an adjuster and they're managing the claim, they're talking about something very specific, aren't they?
Well, that's true. I think that what insurance carriers do when they'll adjust a claim, they will, I think for the most part, insurance companies try to get it right. They'll try to go out and do an investigation to determine what caused the damage or what caused the claim, whether that's something that's covered by the insurance policy, and if it is something that the insurance company believes is covered by the insurance policy, what amount of money will compensate that insured. That's, in a perfect world, what an insurance company does.
Yeah.
And where we end up getting involved is where there's a disagreement between the insured, or in this case, we're talking about community associations, and the insurance company on each of those issues.
Yes.
So
now,
homeowners association. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that typically you'll see disputes between homeowners associations and their insurance carriers over the cause of damage, or the amount of damage, or the necessary scope of repair.
Right.
And we tend to see most folks accept whatever value the insurance company puts on, or whatever conclusions they reach. But homeowners have their rights, including the right to dispute what an insurance company finds.
Yeah. Now, you talk about what you call 3 distinct phases in a claim. Can you tell our listeners what are those real 3 phases of an insurance claim?
You bet. I think the first phase of an insurance claim is when the policyholder discovers a loss. So there's a hailstorm and there's some damage to the roofs or damage to siding, or there's a fire. The date that happens, when somebody realizes they have a claim, that's the first phase, this discovery of a loss. The second phase of a claim is when the policyholder then takes that claim and presents it to their insurance company. They're making the claim. That's phase 2. And then the third phase of that insurance process is when the insurance company processes, investigates, and then hopefully pays that claim.
Yeah.
So discovery, making the claim, processing the claim.
Now, a lot of people, again, I think, assume that that's an automatic and a pretty simple and straightforward process. But if I could interject something, and this is just from my perspective, being involved as a management company or a managing agent for the association, things aren't necessarily as simple as one would expect. And for that reason, for example, I found that there are a good number of governing documents in an HOA that will talk about what takes place when a insurance claim event takes place, and they go into it in great detail, and they talk about the association becoming involved and becoming a trustee. And the reason is because they want to make sure that things are done properly and that things aren't just kind of overlooked. I mean, I can think of horror stories in the past where the association said, well, let's just let that homeowner deal with it. And they dealt with the HOA's insurance company and then their HO6 policy. And they had someone do work only to find out that at the end of it all, there was an additional bill for about $50,000 more than the insurance company was going to take care of. And now everybody said, who thought it was a simple process, now are wringing their hands saying, what are we going to do?
That's a very good point, Gene. And you raise a very good point with respect to governing documents. Community associations in their declarations will have insuring requirements, and that talks about how much insurance has to be maintained and who has to maintain it. Some governing documents specify that the association will insure certain elements of the property and the homeowners will insure their contents. That depends on the set of governing documents, but that's pretty standard. But you're right, homeowners associations can get in big trouble if in the course of handling an insurance claim, they're not prosecuting that insurance claim as required by their governing documents, and they're trying to shift that responsibility. And vice versa, homeowners can find themselves in trouble if they expect an association to make a claim for something that their insurance policy doesn't cover.
Yeah, I remember in that particular case, it ended up being the contractor placing a lien on the HOA for about 50 grand, and it took about a year and a half. And if you want to see some people get angry, wait till you see people who now try to sell, and all of a sudden it's found out that there is a lien and extra money has to go into escrow until things get settled.
That's a huge hang-up. Let me give you another kind of a horror story, but this time from the perspective of an association member.
Well, I tell you what, before you do that, looking at the clock, we've got to take a break, but can you tell us as soon as we come back?
You bet.
Great. We're talking to attorney Tony Smith with Roeder Smith Jayden about navigating a property insurance claim. We'll hear what this horror story is, that and so much more after these messages.